So what's up? I am driving to my son's school to pick him up for after school, whatever. But I'm just driving right now. I didn't want to talk about anything specific, just some randomness, really. This Kansas wind is so disrespectful. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Kansas or anywhere in the Midwest or anything like that. But this wind is kind of disrespectful. It don't have any concerns about your hair, about your clothes, about what you want to do with yourself and what you want to do with your life today. It really just don't care. It will literally destroy everything that you've done before you walked out your house. So I'm looking crazy. I had to go put a headband on because I never straighten my hair. Like, since I've had my hair cut short, I don't even think I've straightened it, not one time. And the time that I straighten it is when this wind wants to cut the up, okay? So yeah, if I'm looking crazy, you get over it, whatever. But you know. So anyway, just driving. And kind of what I want to talk about is I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he is he's a healer, but he's also an exotic dancer, and we were having a really good conversation. He was telling me about how he did the Punani Poet Sessions where it was about poetry and arts, and then they also gave him an opportunity to do question and answer sessions. So me and him were having a discussion about polyamorous and polyandry and polygamous relationships, and he's confident with his polygamous relationships, where a man can have multiple partners / spouses, significant others. And I asked him what did he think about women who were into polyandry relationships, where the woman has multiple husbands or multiple partners. And the question that he asked is, well, what happens when she gets pregnant? Who's the daddy? And I said, does that matter? He said, yeah. And so when I got off the phone, I really began to think about it, because we were talking about how DNA and spiritual vibrations, spirits and spiritual vibrations and frequencies and all these things play a part in who a person is. The ancestral lineage also plays a part in this and everything. And so we were really having a meeting of the minds about what he felt. And when I asked that question, I asked it straightforward because I meant to ask it. As a woman, is it really important if you have multiple partners, being that your man or the man on the other half of that can have multiple partners as well? What is the difference? And women are the receivers, which we are already all hip to. Women are the receivers of DNA. Women are the receivers of life force energy from a man. Women are the receivers of, because that's how we were built. We are the negative and they are the positive. So we are the receivers of that. We are the magnets and they are the electricity. I'm gonna let this window up. Alrighty, so the question of the day is, can women have multiple partners? And not just multiple partners, but multiple spouses and or significant others. And does their pregnancy have an important role in the fact of if you can have multiple partners and you're all in agreement to that, is it really a question of who's the daddy or not? Now, I have my own opinion. I have my own perspective of it, and I'm gonna give it to you. This car is really barreling behind me. Anyway, so the idea that I have behind it is it does matter. I am a more monogamous type person, only because I'm an alpha female, and I don't really ever see myself playing second wife. I don't ever see myself having multiple husbands. just because I like to be able to manage things, and manage things with organization, and I'm super analytical. I won't say controlling, because that's not the word. I just like to know what's going on, how it's going on, and when it's going on, and how I can operate in it at my highest self. And for me, it just hasn't really been a thought to have a multiple partners like that. But I know that there are women out there that do have multiple husbands, and men who have multiple wives. And for the women who have multiple husbands, they are the receivers of DNA. They are the receivers of his spiritual ancestral self. They are the receivers of everything that makes him him. And it is mixing of a DNA. I'm gonna turn this music down. It is a mixing of DNA. And so does another man's vibration affect another man's vibration when they are both in the same cup? They are both in the same womb. Absolutely. And that can have an effect on children. Now, being that I can be honest with myself and how, you know, I do things. When I was dating, you know, specifically with my son, you know, I dated multiple people. And not only that, but I did have multiple sexual partners. And in having multiple sexual partners, it was a concern about who the parent is. And, you know, I know who my son's dad is, but at the same time, it is a question and it is a concern. And it does affect the womb and the waters. It does affect the energy of the relationship. It does affect the mindset of the people that are involved, because it can be overwhelming to a man's ego. And it can be affecting, having an effect on a woman's libido and her energy as well, her spirit as well, when bringing multiple men in, and multiple men not being a whole bunch of them, but multiple men just being multiple partners, having to sift through a lot of things that they are leaving behind, whether that's residue of depression, residue of self-defeated thoughts, residue of even the things that they will be attaining for themselves. And what he said was so important, because he said it takes immediate effect. DNA takes immediate effect. And absolutely. And whatever is on him or in him or going through him at that time, whether it's one person or multiple persons, will be dropped off on you. And it will take effect immediately. That's why you can have sexual intercourse with a man, and as soon as you get up, you either feel vibrant, or you feel low, or you feel a different type of way than when you first lay down. When you getting ready to lay down, you all excited, you all pumped up, you all ready to go, and you are in a state of, it is hot as I don't know what, in February. Good God. Turn this AC on. I'm about to start sweating on my upper lip, Lord. Anyway, when he's leaving residue behind, it does affect how you get up as a woman, because like I said, we are the receivers of him. Whether it's, like I said, his mindset, his energy, his state of being, all of the above, all of it. And so what you have to do is be very clear on who you're dealing with. You have to be very clear. If you are having multiple partners, your other partners should be in agreement to that. Even if they don't know exactly who they are, they do need to be in agreement to that, because you, as a woman or as a man even, you are leaving behind sexual, spiritual, mental, physical residue. And so you have to be very careful about who and what you are dealing with, because everything is not just at sight level. Everything is just not what you see. It is a lot of times what you feel and what you experience, because you can have something happen after sex and you don't even know why something manifested. It's just that was something that they brought into your world, because that is something that they wanted to manifest for themselves. I'm very big on tantric sex. I'm very big on understanding spiritual sex, not just the physical. And so now in hindsight, after me experiencing multiple partners as well as having a child and understanding manifestations behind sexual activity, I'm very, very, very selective on who and what I deal with and when I deal with them, because timing is also everything. So yeah, what do you think about polyandry relationships where the woman has multiple husbands or significant others? I ain't talking about cheating. I'm not talking about being just all over the place. I'm saying you having true relationships with multiple partners and they are aware and all that. And are they accepting? Are they unaccepting? If they are accepting, what effects does it have on them? That's what I'm kind of curious about after this conversation. So I just wanted to blog about the conversation I had with my dear friend. If you want to check him out, he is Mark Lawson on Facebook. He is a great exotic dancer, from what I've seen. And he's a pretty deep guy, so I hope he doesn't mind that shout out. I'm sure he doesn't. But yeah, what do you think? What are you thinking? What are you saying about it? It's not a typical conversation that people have, but hey, it's the conversations that people don't normally have are the ones that we really should be having. Now, to polygamous relationships, I am torn some days. I understand the benefits of polygamy, where a woman is, first, second, third wife or whatever. I understand the benefits of it. I understand why a community would have polygamous relationships where there's a sole provider, kind of like Sister Wives, if you ever seen that show on TV, on TLC. I understand the benefits, but being able to function in that relationship, I never have tried it before. I've never really considered it before, so I really couldn't say if it works for me or not. I just know that right now my mental state hasn't really provided me an opportunity to jump in on that. I'm just not there yet. I'm not knocking it, because I have groups of friends who have that relationship. However, being that I grew up in a society with a monogamous relationship, or rather a family unit that was monogamous, and it was a successful monogamous relationship, I don't necessarily connect so much to polygamy. So could I do it? I don't know. I really don't know. I've been asked to be a second wife. Actually, I've been asked to be the first wife, and then he came back years later and asked me to be the second wife. But I couldn't wrap my mind around it, even though I knew I didn't have to necessarily do traditional work. I would have been like, a mother. I would have been his supporter. We would have built businesses together. But I would have had to be supportive of another woman and her children. And I don't know about that. I've helped. I don't know. I worked at a youth emergency shelter for years. I still do. It's a family-owned shelter where we work with a lot of kids who are placed in state custody, in Kansas state custody. They are children in need of care. So I have helped raise, probably in the last 15 years, at least 1,000 kids, whether it had been for a weekend or a day, or whether it had been for months at a time. So I've helped raise thousands of kids. But and when I say help raise, I mean help raise where they didn't have a mother, they didn't have a father, they didn't have someone listening to them and knowing what they like or don't like. They didn't have someone give them a hug. They didn't have someone tell them they're doing a good job. So to step in and be someone else's parent isn't hard. To step in and be a parent to a person who has a parent already, I don't know. That's a good one. So I don't know. I'm just talking right now. But it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to put out there. And taking on responsibility of another woman and her children, again, is out of love. And it would have to be out of love for that man to love that woman and her children as if she's your sister and they are your children. So it's a whole different set of something to think about when you are not in that situation and never been in that circumstance like that. So yeah, that's something. So anyway, can you drop a comment or tell me what you think about polyandry and polygamous relationships, especially within the Black community. I didn't really bring that up, but that's huge within the Black community because we do have a large number of women in comparison to men, and a lot of the women that are out here do have children, myself included, with men that are not in the household, who are not supporting the household, who do not provide financial support to the household, and we're doing a lot of things by ourselves. If we were in a polygamist or a polyandry relationship, it may be something completely different. And so that's why my mind isn't necessarily shut down to it. But what do you think about that, especially in the Black community? So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. LatorieaQ. Y'all have a good day. Oh, let me tell you, I'm going to my son's school. We're finna have superhero workout, and I'm so excited because he's excited. And I don't know, if you ever seen your kids excited about anything, it just makes your day better. So that is what I'm doing. I'm just driving to my son's school so we can work out today. I got my mommy superhero outfit on, which is basically some cool, I ain't gonna say cool, they some cute workout pants and a tank top. I'm just chilling with my hair all pulled back, snatched back, because the Kansas wind is so utterly disrespectful. It don't give a god doggone rooter-tooter about your head or your clothes or nothing. So anyway, hit me up. Tell me what you think. Peace.